Hey everyone, this is Amanda. I'm coming at you live from the gym. I'm introducing Blue Ocean's brand new accountability program. This is here as a result of popular demand. You guys have been telling us for a long time that you love the level of accountability we have here in the gym. You would love it even more if we gave you that level of accountability outside the gym as well. So that's what we're going to be kind of working on. John and I have been workshopping this since last year. And just trying to figure out how we can put it together with everything that's going on right now, we thought, let's do it. No time like the present. So how it's gonna work is once a week, I'm gonna be coming at you. I'm gonna talk to you for about 10 minutes about the topic of the week. It's all gonna be about building good habits, avoiding bad habits. Gonna be a lot of tips, techniques. We're gonna answer all your questions. After about 10 minutes where I'm just gonna give you, I'll keep it short and sweet, give you the most relevant information, stuff that you can put to really good use. And then I'll take some questions live. I am, of course, happy to at any point in the week take questions from you, and I'll talk about it at my next live. If I don't know the answer to your question, I'm going to find it out for you. But I think it's a really great chance to start some discussions, get some people talking about things they've been struggling with or things they've been having successes with. I know right now we're all really looking for some tips, things that are working for other people on how to just keep ourselves healthy and safe. So the topic of this week is creating and maintaining a new routine when you're out of your old routine. I'm going to kind of talk to you about why it's important, some common pitfalls, some bad habits that are going to form when you're out of your routine. And then I'll give you some strategies to build new good habits that's going to prevent those pitfalls. And then, since this is the first one, I'm going to go through some questions that people have been asking us this week. And because I know that if they're asking us in the gym, that you guys probably have the same questions too. So I do want to start with a quote that I actually read in GQ, of all places. And it was talking about what's going on right now, and I think they summed it up really well. They said, it doesn't feel like, it kind of feels like vacation. It kind of feels like the end of the world. What it doesn't feel like is real life. But we need to remind ourselves this is real life. And how we take care of ourselves right now, it counts, it matters. So all the things that we were doing to keep ourselves healthy and fit before, we still need to be doing those now. In some cases, we need to be doing even more. And we're gonna lay it out for you how you can do that really simply. So I do wanna talk about why a routine is so important. And it's just because a routine provides stability in unstable times, which is what we have right now. This situation could last a couple weeks. It could last a couple months. We don't know. So what we all really wanna do is create a sense of normalcy. And that sense of normalcy and stability is going to help us be productive, and it's going to help us focus. I know a lot of you are at home right now with kids indefinitely, and I know that that's a massive challenge for you guys. There are a lot of people who on top of that are working from home. So they're doing this crazy balancing act, and that gets really overwhelming, and it gets really hard to do the things you need to do for work, the things you need to do to take care of your family, and the things you need to do to take care of yourself. So routine is just going to make that as easy as possible. It's going to take out a lot of that uncertainty for you. And even if you don't have young kids at home, I know a lot of you also have your college-age kids at home. Or you're all of a sudden with your spouse 24/7. And that can be really distracting. It can be really disruptive to the stuff that you want to get done, that they want to get done. So that leads into my third point, which is that having a routine is going to reduce your stress level. If you have a clear sense of what needs to happen today, what you need to do to make that happen, and when you need to make it happen, then you're cutting out so much stress. You don't have to worry about it. You know what you need to do. You know how to get it done. You'll get it done. It's just easier to just keep on trucking. Know what you're going to do, maintain that routine. So let's talk about the really common pitfalls. The number one thing, and I know you guys have all probably already experienced this, is that overeating. When I do my nutrition counseling in here, probably the most common thing people tell me that is sabotaging their weight loss goals or their work here in the gym is that they get home at night and they just snack like crazy. And they don't, by the end of the day, they don't have the willpower to turn it down. That's really common. We all are prone to that. Now expand that for the whole day. You're at home the whole day. The food is right there the whole day. And if you're like me, I love to be in the kitchen. I will just, if I'm walking around my house, I will just find myself in the kitchen. Like I'll zone out and I'll come to and I'm standing in front of the fridge with the door open. It's really easy to just start snacking and keep snacking all day long because there's no structure. And so by the end of the day, you've consumed double or triple the amount of calories you're used to eating. And that's an even bigger problem because of the second pitfall, which is you're moving around a lot less. You're in your house, there's less space to move around, you're not running your normal errands, you're not doing the normal stuff with the kids. So you just end up being more stationary. When you're sitting around, your muscles start getting tight, you start getting sore, you just don't feel as good. And when all that happens, you start losing energy. So now you're low energy, you're sore, you're overeating. It just makes you feel like crap. So we want to avoid that. We're going to give you some ideas to prevent that. It's pretty easy. The next thing we want to do, the next common pitfall, is that you kind of have no distinction between work and home. And if you guys have been working at home, I know we have a lot of people who've probably been working at home for like a week. So I know you're like well into this now, where since you're working from home, there's no distinction between when I'm at work, when I'm at home. It all blurs together into the same day. So when you're at work, you can't fully snap into that productive work mode, and then you can't snap out of it and be in your fully relaxed home mode because like work is right over there on the counter. So we want to avoid that as well. And finally, when you're stuck at home, all your fun activities become very stationary. And a lot of times you're staring right at a screen. You're binging on Netflix, you're staring at Facebook for 5 hours, you're playing video games, you're not moving, and you're not really using your brain. You're just kind of passively consuming information. And that is great if it's like a lazy Saturday. That is less great if you do that for 10 days straight. Your brain starts kind of turning to mush. So now that we've kind of gone over the unhealthy habits that you want to avoid, let's talk about some strategies, some tips to build a really healthy routine. And I think the first most important thing is setting meal times. You just have meal and snack times. You just decide, this is when I eat, rest of the time, kitchen's closed. If you have little kids, they're already on like a regular meal schedule, hopefully. So just piggyback on them. Make it super simple on yourself. It's just a really great way to end that like snacking train and just keep yourself eating regularly. You just have a better idea of how much you're eating. You're just gonna feel better. The second one is you wanna get moving more, especially if your work from home is pretty stationary and you're sitting a lot. I want you to set an alarm on your phone, maybe every hour, maybe every hour and a half, every 2 hours, whatever works for you. And when that alarm goes off, you're gonna get up, you're gonna move around, you're just gonna walk, just get your heart rate up a tiny bit, do some stretching. You can do the stretching that we've been posting. John's been doing these stretching classes online. You can also just do the warm-up that we do here at Blue Ocean. Just get the blood moving. At the same time, drink a full glass of water. And just think of these as like little maintenance checks. You know, like this machine is under stress. Let's take care of it. Let's maintain it so we don't have a breakdown. And at the same time that you're doing that, that's a really great time to kind of check in on how am I feeling? Am I really tense? Am I like holding all this tension in my muscles? Do I have a headache? Do I feel really stressed? And just give yourself 1 minute of deep breathing and just fully relaxing. That's gonna feel so good if you've been holding tension. You're just gonna reset that tension. So just do that, just pick a time interval, set those alarms on your phone and just keep to it. That is gonna make a huge difference, I promise. The third thing is keeping work separate from home. The first person I talked to about this was Kirsten, because Kirsten is the expert right now on how do you maintain a routine when you're out of your normal routine. She gave me some amazing resources. I am more than happy to share those with you. I'm gonna be posting some later. She said the most important thing for her has been starting the day off with a productive task. She gets right up and she loads the dishwasher, or she starts a load of laundry. Just think of it as the same way that we talk to you guys in here about keeping up that exercise momentum. It's so much easier to keep a healthy habit going once you've started the day off healthy. You've started off working, doing something that's gonna make your day easier. It's easy to keep that momentum going. It's more difficult if you start the day off staring at your phone for 30 minutes, vegging out, you get up, you still feel like crap. It's just harder to get into a good routine. So start off strong. I think that's an awesome recommendation by Kirsten. And also, this is another tip I know you guys will have seen because it's everywhere, because it's great. Keep yourself in a routine for work. Get up at the same time. It doesn't have to be the same time as normal, but just get up at the same time every day. Take a shower, and then put on your work clothes. So that could even mean, like, these are my home sweatpants, and these are my work sweatpants. But it's a really great visual and physical reminder for your brain and your body, we're at work right now. And then when you're done with work, you take those off, you put on your home clothes, and you're at home. And it's gonna just help you relax a little bit. It's just gonna help you keep those separate. Obviously, it's not gonna be totally separate because you are at home, but you need to make it easier on yourself. You're just gonna lower that stress bit by bit. And then finally, find activities that keep your mind active. The same way you guys who are homeschooling your kids are, putting so much effort into making sure that they're engaged and active all day, because that's good for them and it makes them feel good and it uses their energy and they're growing and learning. We need that exact same thing. We need to provide that for ourselves. So our fun activities, do something with your hands. Use YouTube to learn a new interesting skill. You just need to be doing something that is keeping your brain moving. That's not just sitting staring at a screen. Another thing that's going to help that is maintaining connections. Humans thrive when we're connected. We don't do well at all with isolation. And in a time where it's going to be hard to maintain our connections because we're seeing the same 5 people every day, we need to do what we can, be safe about it, to just make sure that we're maintaining our relationships. For millennials, this advice is going to suck, but we need to use the phone. We need to call people and hear their voices. We need to do FaceTime calls and see people's expressions. Texting is fine, but it's not the same. It's just going to feel good for your brain. It's going to be good for your mental state to be connected with people, to feel like we're all in this together. And that's really easy to lose if you're just isolated in your house. Really easy to lose, but really easy to maintain too. You just got to pay attention to it. So I just want to review real quick. This is a really stressful time. This is a really weird time. Being out of your normal routine can make it easy to fall into unhealthy habits. But you want to create a structure for yourself that's going to keep you moving, keep you feeling good, keep you eating good, and keeping your mind sharp. If you have any questions at all about that, please post them below. I'm going to post some resources later that I kind of used when I was researching all this. If there's anything you found that really helps you, absolutely let us know. That'd be fantastic. For now, I'm going to kind of transition into answering some of those questions. The first one is, I've had this conversation several times. It's about how do I get healthy food? Especially if you're self-quarantined or you have an immunocompromised loved one, to protect them, you're going to quarantine. My recommendation, and I've been kind of surprised that more people don't know about this, so I wanted to make sure to say it, was Instacart. You go on Instacart, you make your shopping list from a local store, they have a personal shopper go and fill that order for you, they drop it off at your house. So if you're very concerned about limiting your exposure to the public, you got to do that. But healthy eating is also an awesome opportunity. This is where you can really turn the situation into a big win for yourself, because you're not going to restaurants. You're not exposed to all these difficult food choices. The food that's in your house is the food you buy, and that's the only food you're consuming. So this is a technique that I use when I go grocery shopping. Of course, I want to buy potato chips and ice cream, but I just remind myself, I just need to have willpower for 20 minutes in this grocery store. And if I don't buy those things, I don't need to use willpower the rest of the week because it's not in my home. So just focus on bringing healthy things into your home, and it's going to take away a lot of that temptation. You're not going to have to fight it. You're going to save that energy that you would have spent trying to fight that temptation by just not having it around. Make it easy on yourself. Another thing that we've been really hitting hard in here is it's important to keep your exercise routine going because it boosts your immune system. I have had more than one person say, what does that mean? How does it boost my immune system? So just wanted to break it down a little bit. We're not going to get too technical. When you exercise, you increase the amount of white blood cells in your bloodstream. The white blood cells are your body's primary immune response. They're going to attack any pathogens in your bloodstream. So right now it's a critical time to have just optimal white blood cells. Anything you can do. So exercising is going to help with that. It also raises the body temperature a little bit. It kind of mimics having a fever. We develop a fever because the warm temperature will kill bacteria. So when our body temperature rises, it's kind of a method of keeping us safe. If we're doing that while we're exercising, that can only help. And last but not least, exercise lowers the level of stress hormone production and release. The primary stress hormone is cortisol. When you're under a lot of stress, your body produces a lot of cortisol. Think of it the same as any other machine. It's under stress, it is not going to be performing optimally. So you just want to limit cortisol. And you can do that not only by exercising, but also by that meditation and mindfulness. When you're really focusing on calming your body, relaxing your systems, you're going to lower the amount of cortisol. It's going to be easier for your body to fight off anything that it might need to fight off. And finally, I was talking to a client just yesterday. She has 2 young kids at home. She is working from home. We were talking about exactly this. What's she going to do to get through it? And she said, I can't do it. There's too much stuff. I can't do the kids. I can't do work. And I can't, on top of that, prioritize me. She felt guilty about that. And I understand that. This is such an overwhelming time. You guys are dealing with a lot if you have kids at home. So all the tips that we've given today are really simple. I wanted to keep it really simple and easy so that it's not something that's going to overwhelm you. It's not going to make it harder. You don't have to put a lot of thought into it. You just need to structure this routine, build this routine, decide on your meal times, set alarms for those little check-ins to move around and drink some water. Keep your mind active. Keep moving. Make sure that you're separating work and home so you can fully relax and fully be productive when you need to. That's not going to be too difficult once you get it going, and it's going to pay off so much. You're just once this is over and we're all kind of transitioning back into normal life, it's going to be a lot easier if you've been able to maintain that kind of stability. You've taken care of yourself, and it's just going to be good for your family too if you're all taking care of yourselves and if you're all staying calm. So thank you so much for watching. Please leave any comments at all below. If you want to talk about anything next week, let me know. I've got stuff planned out for the next few weeks, but I want to be responsive to what you guys actually want to hear about. So you can email that to Blue Ocean, you can text it, whatever you want, and we'll address your concerns. So thank you very much, guys, and you stay safe and healthy out there.